Let's now get to our guests on the program. We'll be looking at Nigeria's investment drive, and as we speak, we've been joined by Odilin Inwigbaram. He is a developmental economist live from our Abuja studio. Good morning, Odilin.
Good morning.
Okay, thank you for joining us on the program. We'd like you to tell us, first of all, we're looking at Nigeria's investment drive. We've seen efforts by the government to woo foreign investors. Just recently, President Goodluck Jonathan was in London at the Honorary International Investors Council to bring in people and see how they can help to boost our economy. What's your take on these moves by the government?
I think I've always said this, that if you have the fundamentals right, you don't need to be chasing investors around the world. The investors will come themselves. Remember that as soon as Olusegun Obasanjo became president, he told the entire world during his first tenure in office. In fact, he was visually sleeping on aircraft. But no foreign investor came. Because when the fundamentals are not right, investors are not fools. They are looking for where to maximize profit with the lowest risk. But if the cost of doing business in Nigeria is so high, and if the risks are so high, if the security system is not something to write home about, no amount of traveling around the world will make foreign investors to come to Nigeria. They will come and share with you, dine with you, clap hands with you, but they will not come. That is the reality.
Are you saying in essence that we've not had any results from preceding administrations in Nigeria in their efforts to bring in foreign investors into the country? Haven't there been any form of result at all?
Yeah, if you are trying to be realistic, you will know that the only investors we are having are investors in the oil sector, oil and gas sector, and also investors in those who we call portfolio investors, those who speculate on our capital market. But the real sector investors are still sitting on the fence, watching, because they don't want to risk their funds, especially because the cost of doing business in Nigeria remains one of the highest in the world. Nigeria recently was ranked as the number 120th out of the 148 countries, profiled by the World Economic Forum. So you could understand how uncompetitive Nigeria is. So that is the problem. If we fix infrastructure, if we reduce the cost of money in the country, if we try to impose high tariffs on imported goods, if we cannot exit WTO, then if we devalue the Naira, then we could see that foreign investors will come, because we have 170 million consumer market. It's the only country in the world that has such large population that is yet to industrialize. And we can do it so quickly if we do what Brazil did. President Lula did in 2003 to 2012, no, 2011, sorry. He quickly resolved the infrastructure deficit problem in Brazil. And as soon as he did that, by freeing money that was locked up in big government, as soon as he fixed the infrastructure problem, every year, minimum of $30,000 billion was being invested in Brazil. So I think we must do the right thing and stop chasing the shadows.
Okay.
No amount of dramatization, no amount of going to London or going to New York will solve the problem, because investors are not fools. Let me ask you one question. Have you ever dealt with a madman giving him money, asking him for change? He will give the right change, but even though he's a madman, go to a blind man and give him money, ask him for change, you give the right change. You see, money is so miraculous that people don't play with money. So nobody will just throw away his have any currency or have any savings because we want to help Nigeria. They are not non-profit organizations. They are profit maximizers.
Okay, we've seen in the past few years expansion in the telecoms industry. Of course, we've seen the emergence of companies like MTN, we've seen Airtel, all of these companies coming into Nigeria to take advantage of our growing potentials. Isn't that a good sign that our market is very ripe for us to get foreign investors to come in and help to boost our economy?
I'm not saying that companies like MTN that came to take advantage of the gap could not be encouraged. But don't tell yourself that MTN is running over the continent. So what this MTN thing, you see, the telecommunication revolution was not a Nigerian thing, it was a worldwide revolution. Nigeria only caught a part of the wheel. So let's not be fooling ourselves because these people came because it was a revolution that was inevitable, and Nigeria, it takes little for the telecommunication industry to be in business. And you see what they are going through. They have to provide themselves the power, they have to provide themselves the security and things like that. That's why the cost of making calls in Nigeria is among the highest in the world. So we must fix the power sector. What does it take if Mr. President will spend the entire energy he has to fix the power sector, not just privatizing it, but making sure that the government is a major participant in the generation and the transmission of power. In 2007, Brazil was able to build a dam called Itaipu Dam that generates 19,900 megawatts. We have the same quality of water, the same water they have. Why can't we build such dams? Those cannot be done by private sectors. Nuclear plants that will generate electricity cannot be built by private people. It must be done by federal government. We must borrow money from wherever we can find it to fix the power sector. We must borrow money from wherever we can find it to fix the road network problem, so that our small business owners can now go back to business. So that is my take on this. I have no problem with the Jonathan administration. In fact, I want Jonathan to be the best president we have had. But I cannot be looking the other way when things are going wrong. Now, very soon we are going to host, May next year, we are going to host the World Economic Forum on Africa. It's another jamboree because what you can't get through the front door, you can't get it through the back door. Let's stop deceiving ourselves. People will come and clap hand, the cars will vote, and the hotels will be filled up, and we budget $20 to $30 million, and we do the jamboree, and it will go like that. And that's why they are calling the National Assembly to quickly call those who are organizing this, who are behind this, to appear before them and tell them the source of funding this so-called World Economic Forum on Africa next year. Because we cannot go ahead spending public funds as if it will just nothing. That is my take on that, please.
Just before I let you go, Mr. Iwegba, in your opinion, you feel that the government has not done enough in the past few years to make the environment right for investors to come in. But do you think that in the next 1 year or so before President Jonathan leaves office, can it begin to set things right and let the environment be conducive for us to get these investment into the country?
The first thing I want the president to do, the first thing I want the president to do is to fix the power. It is easy to fix the power. If he borrows money and fix it and get us 100,000 megawatts, he will leave the rest for us. Two, there must be an industrialization master plan. There must be an industrialization master plan. It is not win-win, because look at win-win we are talking about. You know what? If these boys have great ideas and they start marketing their products, the same products will go to China and India, and they must produce it because cost of doing business in China and India are very low, and they come to dump those goods in Nigeria and displace these young gifted entrepreneurs. Until we fix the power sector, until we have a comprehensive master plan of industrialization, until we put high tariffs on imported goods so that any imported good that entering the country is more expensive than locally made goods, until we devalue the naira, just like America is using what they call quantitative easing to be pumping $85 billion into the American money market every month. That is $1.2 trillion every year. They are pumping. By doing that, they are devaluing the dollar, and by doing that, they are actually creating inflation and then creating jobs. That's why America was able to create 8.7 million manufacturing jobs between 2010 and 2013. So why can't we do those things? Why should we continue deceiving ourselves, trying to say that investors will come because we are looking good, investors will come because we are organizing a conference, investors will come because we are organizing a summit.
Thank you.
No, if you don't fix the infrastructure, which will make it competitive, there's no way investors can come, because investors are looking for how to maximize profit with the less risk available.
I think at this point I would like to let you go. Thank you for your opinion. Thank you for your time with us on the program, Odile Nwegbara.